In this video, what I want to do is I want to show you how you would answer a question on the environment. Now, if you get a question on the environment, then you're in luck because questions on the environment are pretty good questions to gather marks. If you use the technique that I'm going to show you, then you should be able to get full marks in any question that you get in your exam on the environment. So this is a higher question. And it's question D. It's taken from section 1, question D, or section 1D, and it's to do with these products here. So we have a specification here, and we have two products, two scooters. And the question says, describe how consideration of the environment has impacted on the design, manufacture, and use of these scooters. Now, before you answer this question, it's important that you watch the video on environment. That video talks about sustainability, and it also talks about different aspects of that can affect the environment when you're designing, and it shows you a technique that's referred to as the 6 R's. Now, the 6 R's are really important because this will help you answer questions like this. So just to remind us what the 6 R's are, we have reduce, refuse, reuse, recycle, rethink, and repair. Now, if you remember these 6 R's, you should be able to answer this question fairly easily. Right, what do they mean? Reduce basically means reducing the size of the product. Can obviously means you're going to use less materials, and that would have a limiting effect on the environment. Refuse refers to basically the designer has the option to refuse to use any materials that can't be recycled or materials that are non-sustainable. Reuse, that's a technique where once the product is finished, it can be reused in another way, or parts of it can be reused in another way. This is sometimes referred to as upcycling. We've got recycle, which is the one that most of you should be familiar with. The designer could choose to use materials that can be recycled. Rethink, sometimes depending on the product, the designer might decide to rethink the design, maybe simplify the design, so it's using less parts, and these parts can then be easily disassembled and recycled. And finally, we've got repair. We could have a product where it could be maintained. We could use maintenance to make it last a longer period of time before it needs to be disposed of. Again, that would help to limit any effect it might have on the environment. So the 6 R's are really important here in order to answer this question. So let's have a look at a typical answer. Right, so using the 6 R's, we could write something like what I've got on the screen. The designer of the traditional three-wheel skate scooter has refused to use materials that could harm the environment. In this scooter, wood has been used, and wood is sustainable. Wood is also biodegradable, meaning it will gradually break down into any landfill it's placed in. The scooter also has less component parts, which could easily be disassembled. Plastic parts could then be recycled. The folding three-wheel scooter has been made from aluminium. Aluminium will not rust and is a durable material. This will help to extend its life, thereby limiting its effect on the environment. And there is 4 points here that have been clearly made in relation to limiting the effect of these products on the environment. Thereby, we've achieved the desired result. We have 4 marks out of 4 marks. Okay, thank you for listening.